All right. Good evening, everybody, or good morning, depending on when you're watching this. This is Data Analysis. My name is Andrew Long, and this is ACTE 69950. So, before we get started, I want to talk about some class specifics. This test I'm going to analyze, it was a World War I test. It was made up of 20 questions. 10 came from direct instruction, a PowerPoint lecture in front of the class. And then another 10 came from videos, worksheets, readings, etc. There were 24 students in total, 16 were female, and 8 were male. This group also includes 11 English language learners. Here is the data presented in its raw form. So again, total questions is 20. All right. You got the percent that the student earned. You have the number correct, whether they are a male or a female English language learner. The mean is 16.04, which works out to about 80%. The mode is 18 as well as 19. Each of them were 4 times each. Our range is 5 to 20. There was one extreme outlier, which obviously is bringing down the mean, because outside of the 5, the next lowest score was 12, which I believe there was 2 of those and 3 13s. So the 5 was kind of on its own. And the standard deviation for this is 3.46. Here's the information in a graph. Definitely not the world's greatest graph, in the sense that I prefer to have the numbers listed down here. It's got it color coded, but again, it's just a visual representation of what we already know. Our score out of 20, and the students with specific scores. You got one student with a 5, two students with 12, 3 students with 13, 1 with 14, 3 with 15, 1 with 16, 2 with 17, 4 with 18, 4 with 19, and 3 with 20. So again, you have a pretty serious outlier here. Most of your data is residing in 12 to 20. I did want to look at this, just for the pure fact that I teach at a district that has a large number of English language learners. In this class of 24, there are 11, so almost half the class is classified as an English language learner, and what those scores looked like. So for that, you had 1 with 5, 1 with 12, 2 with 13, 1 with 14, 3 with 15, 1 with 16, and then 2 with 19. And again, I definitely will not be using this format of a bar graph again, because I would want you to have the numbers down here rather than being this color-coded system. So to analyze this, the average score on the 3 video worksheet questions, so they came directly from a video worksheet the students had to complete. This is by far the worst category. The percentage correct for the 3 questions on the test were 66, 54, and 58, meaning that 8 students got the one question wrong, 11 got the next, and then 10 got the final question wrong. I was going to look at this for gender as well and present the information like this, looking at this. But again, this class is not proportional when it comes to gender. There are 16 female students and 8 male students. So with that big of a difference, it felt like the numbers would get a little weird. And again, you had the outlier there, which would kind of skew results a little bit. So I just analyzed it as a whole. That's what these numbers are. I believe, if I remember correctly, it was like the male average was 17%, or 17 out of 20, which would be an 85%. And the female average was around a 15 out of 20. It's like a 15.74. Which is going to be roughly around like a 76, 77%. But again, drugged down by the 5, so I did not want to look at that in that manner. The reason why I wanted to look at this information specifically is because it's directly tied to my research. My active research plan wants to focus on the types of assignments and like how students perform using those. So looking at this, it's not a very good start for video worksheets because this was by far the worst category. I believe I mentioned that the best by far was direct instruction, utilizing a PowerPoint. That's what worked best for the students on this with this specific content. The video worksheets did not work. But again, I'll have to look at it and pose a question to myself, which I'm looking at the inwards about what I need to do as a teacher, because it's possible maybe the question was too wordy or things of that nature. And also talking about English language learners, focusing on that to make sure the video they can watch has their language available to them, which I talk about here under my interpretation. So with the data showing that there is a decrease with my students who are English language learners, the average goes down. I believe the average for that is a 14.18. I'm sorry, not the average. The mean is a 14.18. Again, comparing that to the higher overall from the data before. The range for that is 5 to 19. So my low score of 5 is included in that data. And the mode, which before was 18 and 19, is now down to 15, right? Which happened 3 times. So we actually go back to that data and look at it, right? So this was overall, and then this was English language learners. So it's clear that there's a downward shift from the rest of the class, predominantly higher scores. Now it's lower. So I need to scaffold more for my English language learner students and put them in a better position to succeed. Again, students scored lower on questions that stemmed from a video worksheet, indicating that this type of assignment is one that hurts academic achievement. I realized when I went back that this video did not have subtitles available in multiple languages, which could help explain A, lower scores for English language learners, and B, the lower score for a video worksheet, because if nearly half the class is at an inherent disadvantage from the beginning, that question is not going to A, accurately represent what they know, and B, is going to hurt the data. Moving forward for this, I would find a video that has subtitles available in multiple languages and group students based off of language ability. I try to do that already, but to go back and put a more focused effort on that and perhaps allow them to work in groups at a rate higher than what I currently do, just to allow that collaboration and having people who speak the same language work together may help both students in that situation. So this has been my data analysis. Thank you, and I will see you guys in class.